So now we know a little bit about our history, about the image they had and the change, a little bit of the economy. What about knowing a little bit of our carnival? What's the idea you have about our carnival? First of all, I'd like to explain what carnival is. You know, carnival came to Brazil from Europe, of course. You know, what would be carnival? You know, Easter, yes? Everybody say, why every year carnival change the date? Yeah, because every year Easter changed the date too. Carnival is just, it used to be, or it is still, a party that they do just before starting the period of what we call Quaresma, 40 days before Easter. So they had a big party, you know, where they were eating a lot of meat because they were supposed to be 40 days without meat. So at this party called Carnival in ancient Europe here, and the day next they had the Ashes Wednesday, where they were going to churches and to receive the ashes here, you know. And as Brazil is a Catholic country, they kept the tradition. So originally Carnival was only on Tuesday, and then they said, okay, let's do Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. 3 days before Wednesday. But as we are so much, innovative in Recife and Olinda together, that's my city. And we do it like a week before and a week later, you know. Sometimes the religious people, they got angry because that's Ash Wednesday, it's invading the time. But people just want to have fun, go there and make the parties, you know. So, and the music we have, okay, you know samba, you know about samba, but our music there, the most known is frevo. What is frevo about? I can show you some music of frevo. It's a playing with orchestra, and then a little bit of the dance, okay? Because the time is not so, I'm just going to put a little bit for you to have an idea what is frevo about. We have frevo and maracatu. Maracatu has to do with the first Afro-Brazilian rhythm. It's the most traditional rhythm from Africa that came in from Brazil, Africa. I mean, you don't say really from Africa, from Europe. You say they're all Brazilian. Once they come to Brazil, they become Brazilian. You know, like Brazil is a country of immigrants. Differently from the United States, they say, "Oh, I'm Irish." Okay, why are you born in Ireland? Oh no, my great-great-great-great-grandfather was from Ireland, so I'm Irish. Okay. So if someone comes from Brazil, okay, I'm English. I mean, you have to be born in England. But if your father or mother are from England and you're born in Brazil, you are Brazilian. Doesn't matter, you know. So that's the difference of mentality that we have. And I'm gonna put a little bit of the music, a little bit of something. Okay, this is just a little bit of the dance of frevo. That's how they dance. The orchestra plays their dance. Use the umbrella to give the balance. little bit of it. I will show the African Brazilian, the first African Brazilian rhythm. It's just for you to have an idea, with a lot of drums, you know. This is older than samba, much older. We have groups from the 19th century like this, you know, here you're going to see. That's called maracatu. So this is what we call maracatu. And our carnival is different from the one in Rio. In Rio, you pay a lot to see a big parade, you know. You are not a part of the carnival. In Recife and Olinda, we do our own carnival. And you can make the costumes that you want. You can dress like this. There are some groups that they are specializing in making fun of politicians, of superheroes, or whatever. This one I'm going to show you here, they make fun of superheroes. And you see why, with their costumes, you know, they have very funny costumes. This is the TV. The streets of Olinda, Superman flying. Hellboy, you came from the hell to here? Yes, because it was too hot there, I decided to play carnival in Olinda. That's the best carnival in Brazil. Looking for the beer? Where's the beer? Oh, where's the beer? Oh, where's the beer? It's there. The democracy from Pernambuco. Everybody together. So help him to fly. Superman, to fly. Super helpers to fly. Da Vinci and Mona Lisa. This is a costume. They come in couples. They make it like a kind of costumes, you know. Shira, someone from another place in Brazil. It's a little bit in her city and a little bit there in the Beatles. Spider-Man. Esse bebê não dirija, mas fique comigo. É isso, em reverência, beleza, alegria e cultura do país das maravilhas. E se beber, não dirija. E se for transar, não vizinha. Carnaval 2011. Just a flash from the TV to just interviewing people sometimes. You know, yeah, I've seen some funny costumes, you know. About 3-4 years ago, when they were looking for Bin Laden, there was a kind of building there. On the 3rd floor, there was a guy totally dressed like Bin Laden. He was coming to the balcony. Back. And everybody was laughing, you know. Another day, I found the uncle's son, you know, like hey, hi, hello. And Behind him, holding a rope, Fidel Castro holding a rope, like with a big cigar. So, creativity. They make whatever they want in the carnival. So, that's a characteristic of our carnival. Okay, so you know a little bit of our carnival. I'd like to show you maybe, of course, Brazil likes football. I put here, let me see what I have. The World Cup of 1970, when Brazil got 3 times champion. And I know you expect to see some Brazilian football, so.
Mexico 1970, the first FIFA World Cup to be televised in colour. All of a sudden the game seemed somehow different, somehow even more magical. Perhaps that's because of the 3 colours that stood head and shoulders above the rest that year. The green, blue and gold of Brazil, now the most famous in football. Though not favourites for the tournament, it was clear that Brazil had done enough in qualifying to demonstrate their poor World Cup in '66 was behind them. What nobody knew, though, was that they'd assembled the richest blend of youth and experience, speed and skill, power and grace the world had ever seen. Captain Carlos Alberto. Roberto Rivellino, a young firebrand. The great Jairzinho, a man in his prime. And of course, a 29-year-old Pelé, still simply magnificent. After a comfortable 4-1 win over Czechoslovakia, Brazil's attention turned to the world champions. A great game with fantastic moments from both teams. Sure, England had their chances. Both Francis Lee and Jeff Astle should have scored. But even the most die-hard England fan will have to admit that the Brazilians held most of the cards in this tense affair. Jairzinho's 59th minute winner made for a fair result. Brazil marched on to the semi-finals, where their tormentors of 20 years earlier, Uruguay, awaited them. A goal down after 19 minutes, the Brazilians had to wait for Clodoaldo's strike just before the break. From then on, though, it was one-way traffic as Brazil set about dismantling the Uruguayans, running out 3-1 winners. The final saw one of football's greatest ever culture clashes, the attack-minded, free-flowing Brazil against the solid, defensive Italians. As if playing to a script, Italy sat back while Brazil attacked, their enterprise rewarded when Pelé got his country's 100th goal in the finals. The Italians equalised, then in the second half Brazil turned the screw. Chain-smoking midfielder Gerson unleashed a magnificent strike to make it 2-1. Then on 71 minutes, Jairzinho's effort made him the first man since Gigier in 1950 to score in every match. As for Carlos Alberto's goal, well, for those who have seen it, just sit back and enjoy. For everyone else, yes, this actually happened. The emphatic 4-1 victory against one of the planet's meanest defences in a FIFA World Cup final still ranks as one of the greatest performances ever. It's been argued that the searing heat favoured the South Americans and that the same team would have struggled in Europe. Who knows? And frankly, who cares? Brazilian football now belongs to the world.
Okay. I had more videos to show you about sports and so on, but the time is running quick. And now I'd like to show you something about my homeland, Pernambuco State, where I live, the city, the beaches, for you have an idea about how life is there, how my city looks like, you know. Not only my city, but also my state. As you will see here, it starts from the coast, the littoral, and comes to Zona da Mata, this intermediate region, Agreste, that's here, and then to the backlands. You will see it really, and you have an idea about later I'll be glad if you have questions to me after.
Senhores desta sala, licença, eu vou chegando, eu vou mostrar meu Pernambuco com o coração cantando, eu vou.
You may come from anywhere, east, west, overseas, to Pernambuco and its allure. Just come, you're welcome.
Nossa viagem começa pelo Recife, a capital que surgiu em 1537 na área deste porto natural.
On these historic streets, Portuguese, Africans, and Indians have become one people. It was also in Recife that, in 1630, the Dutch arrived, and with them also came the first Jewish community of the Americas. It was a time of major urban changes. Recife is a political and cultural melting pot. It's an important technology, business and trade center. It has excellent hotels and the second best medical treatment center in the whole country. It's home to the beautiful Boa Viagem beach, which has the fine gastronomy and a busy nightlife. It is the land of the Instituto Ricardo Brenan, a trip to medieval times. Also, the Museum of Francisco Brenan and his magnificent sculptures. Recife of the multicultural carnival and the world's largest parade, Galo da Madrugada.
O primeiro que aqui chegou contemplou essa paisagem e falou de forma muito tranquila: ó, linda situação para construir uma vila.
Olinda is the most Portuguese of all the cities of Pernambuco. Narrow streets, up and down the hill, historic houses and a large concentration of religious buildings, a World Heritage Site. Olinda is the home of inspiration of famous artists and craftsmen who make up the culture of Pernambuco. A romantic place, restaurants that serve excellent food. It houses the Convention Center of Pernambuco, which is the largest convention center in the state. During Carnival, Olinda becomes a collection of rhythms, colors, and costumes, a party of the local people to people from everywhere in the world.
Our beaches and coconut trees there.
As the sun rises in Pernambuco, it reveals an ocean of warm and crystalline waters. The state has 124 miles of coastline and beaches filled with exuberant nature, warmth, and joy. This is Porto de Galinhas, located on the south coast of the state. With its tide pools, it has been voted the most beautiful beach in Brazil. Because of its hotels, bars, and restaurants, it is a popular destination for tourists from around the world. Nearby, on the quiet beach of Muro Alto, there are the best resorts of Pernambuco. Maracanã is the surfing spot and also a place for enjoying nightlife. Still on the south coast, there are the beaches of Canetas, Paiva, Serrambi, São José da Coroa Grande, Praia do Porto, Tamandaré, and Praia dos Cadeiros. A few miles north of Recife, we will find Atlantic forest reserves, mangroves, and historic buildings. In the beaches of Maria Farinha and Itamaracá, the calm waters are great for water sports. In Itamaracá, it is worth paying a visit to the center of marine manatees. At the small island called Coroa do Avião, in Catuama and Ponta de Pedras, you can enjoy the sun and the warm waters. Also, don't forget to try the local seafood. For diving lovers, there are 20 shipwrecks along the coast of Pernambuco, an unforgettable trip through the history of navigation in Brazil.
Isabelas levantar voo, vou pra Ilha Encantada, aportar meu sentimento e deixar meu pensamento na ilha fazer morar.
The archipelago of Fernando de Noronha was discovered in 1503, but it was only 2 centuries later that the Portuguese set up a defense system there by building 10 fortifications. Noronha's greatest asset is its marine park. It is considered one of the best places for diving, with water visibility of up to 50 meters. Dolphins are another attraction. The archipelago also has a Tamar project base, a national project created to protect sea turtles. There are a total of 16 beaches, some excellent for surfing. Tourists can rent rooms either at some of the islanders' houses or at charming inns. These inns host several food festivals during the year.
Quem vem lá, quem vem lá, eu sou da zona da mata, Senhor, Pernambuco eu vou cantar, quem vem lá.
In the 16th century, the Portuguese chose the coastal plains called Zona da Mata for growing sugarcane. It was the main economic activity of the period. Sugarcane production caused an ethnic blending of whites, blacks, and Indians, leading to the emergence of a distinct cultural identity. Another important legacy of the sugarcane cycle is its cuisine, rich in sweets, fruits, and dishes made with corn. Many secular mills have been restored and converted into inns, where visitors can experience the history of colonial Brazil and the peace of the countryside.
Agora eu vou mostrar mais lado dessa terra. Agora eu vou mostrar mais lado dessa terra. Eu tô de malas prontas, eu vou subir a serra. Vamos pro agreste!
As we travel towards the inlands, we find cool temperatures in the mountains, forests, and near waterfalls. For that reason, cities such as Gravatá and Garanhuns are very popular during winter, offering charming hotels and inns, as well as fine restaurants. This area also became an industrial cluster, especially for the clothing industry. Delicate lace and embroidery articles can also be found in many cities of the region. The city of Caruaru hosts the largest June festival of the world, with 30 days of festivities. It is a land of parking and figurative art. Here, craftsmen mold the clay into typical characters of the northeast of Brazil. The cities of Teseus and Belo Jardim are other important craftwork centers.
Nas léguas viajei, como os raios do trovão, na certeza de viver as riquezas do sertão.
This is the region of Pernambuco with the greatest contrasts in landscape. Dry areas, microclimate of mild temperatures at the mountains with Atlantic forests, and the valley of the São Francisco River with irrigated lands, which produce and export fruit and wine. The people of the backcountry are resilient and keep strong cultural traditions. There is a yearly calendar of cultural events and tourist attractions ranging from archaeological sites to water sports and excursions to idyllic San Francisco River, which has several islands and also the largest artificial lake in the world, Sobradinho. From the coast to the backlands, this is Pernambuco. Come visit, experience, and fall in love with this land. Pernambuco is ready for you. Come.
So, that was my last video, and yeah, I'm showing Brazil, a little bit of sports, carnival, and some ideas about it, and finish with my state. So,
thank you
I
very
like
much. It was very interesting and exciting, but we ran out of time. So the students are coming tomorrow with questions at 11:30. So we have 3 days of meeting at 11:30 in room of 449.
You're all invited there, so you can see something more, if you have questions.
You have an opportunity to ask questions, okay?
Okay, thank you very much for coming.